Hi guys, it's Mishel again, Deception Bytes, and I told you that I wanted to bring you guys something else tonight, not this, and I'm going to do that. I found this on Twitter and I copied the screenshots from it because I think it has some really important information. Some of you may have seen this already, and if you have, then you can go on and do something else more productive. But for those of you that may not have seen it, I think it's important to take a look. Now, this is from Dilly. I really don't know who this person is. Brandon Dilly, I think his name is. But I see his intel drops from time to time, and they're always very interesting. And they're always very on target. So here's a big one from the 16th, which was what? Was that Friday? Must have been Friday because today's the 18th. So anyway, it's very pertinent to what is going on right now. So I thought that you guys would be interested. And for those of you that haven't seen it, I think you should. So this says Dilly has 3 sources. Put them together, corroborating intel, paints a compelling story. Mueller is giving the president the most public, thorough proctology exam in the history of government right now. Third source, smartest person Dilly ever met. Third source had an interesting conversation with a former Marine colonel. This ties directly with Q. This former Marine colonel, after 20 years out of the forces, currently a school superintendent, has been recalled or pulled back for duty. Now, that would be interesting considering that we just found out that the Marine Corps, the U.S. Marine Corps, has been recalled or called up. And we just read that in the drops from today. So this would corroborate with that. Anyway, they're being recalled or pulled back in for duty. Dilly then recalls what Mueller had when Mueller had his White House visit the day before he was appointed special counsel. And I wouldn't have known that, but that was in the Q post way, way back when we first started with all this, that Mueller had an appointment with the White House with Trump the day before he was appointed special counsel. So Dilly states, this is so much deeper than what most Americans understand, even deeper than what I previously understood. Based on intel given to Dilly, and let me move down here, former Marine Robert Mueller, they're cleaning up the deep state, and here's how they're doing it. They're recalling military, former military, old school military, guys that left and were still somebody. I believe based on this source that Robert Mueller was recalled for duty. Objective, they are recalling former military men of honor and rank for this operation that is currently underway. To deny that there is an operation underway is sheer ignorance. 18,500 sealed indictments since October 30th. I believe that the conversation Robert Mueller had with President Trump the day before being appointed special prosecutor was not an interview. It was duty. He's a Marine. Who is President Trump's chief of staff? Who has he surrounded himself with? Mueller is not deep state. Mueller is an active duty Marine working as a special prosecutor to exonerate your president so that when they drop the hammer on the deep state and 18,500 sealed indictments come out, you don't have a bunch of leftists screaming that he's the next Hitler. You're in a spy movie. I believe Robert Mueller is quietly active duty. There's your context for everything that is happening. Active and formerly retired military personnel are reaching out to me, way up, that want to have conversation. These recalled Marines are answering directly to POTUS. All this is kabuki theater. Bill Mitchell, YVA, nailed this last summer. This is deeper than you realize, much more global than you realize. It's an active battle, day in, day out, right now, information-wise. It's not for the optics. That's the real battle, deep state optics. There is division within your movement, and it's not organic or personal. It's absolutely deliberate division. It's on purpose. They want you disenfranchised, divided, fearful. Fearful people make stupid decisions, say stupid things, and hurt people that are actually there to help them. Fear is a plague, and it's a control apparatus. Fear is planted. Mueller investigation has been one of the most well-orchestrated military ops, I believe, in history, in combination with what else is we've got going on behind the scenes. The purge is 100% real. Why does Mueller want more info? Who cares? He's there to investigate everything. And if you really want to see a deep state cleanup, if you really want to see the swamp drained in its entirety, the only way you can do that without dividing the country like overnight in civil war, you have to have a character who is investigating President Trump completely, thoroughly, the most nonpartisan digging. You have to have that exoneration ahead of time. Troll, you need some visible wins. Dilly responds, why? I don't know if you have to have faith in Mueller to do the right things. You got to be careful with certain words. Right, wrong, good, bad. You can have faith that he is doing the job that he's been asked to do. There is a difference. And if he has, in fact, been secretly military recalled, then he's following orders. Who does the Marines answer to directly? POTUS. And we know that. We know that because I didn't know that previously to Q, the Q post, way back. This is going back to the stuff that Q alluded to, and not even just alluded to, outright told us way in the beginning. So to me, I'm inclined to believe that this is some sort of intelligence. Part 2. Mueller was a Marine, and there are no former Marines. My guess is that he was recalled prior to this special prosecutor talk. That's my intuition. Bill Mitchell and I have made this assertion since last summer on sheer gut and logic. But what I have never had was that missing piece which I now have, which is why it makes even more sense. It is confirmation. There are so many levels to what's going on that that are in different directions. The reason that you are being asked to trust in God and trust in the plan is because there are people involved in this plan that don't even know it. They're being used deliberately. People ask, is Sean Hannity outrage legit? Answer, probably. You wouldn't want to tell a guy like that what's going on if you needed him to feign outrage to keep everybody looking in this direction. You need legitimate reaction, and so you feed everyone different information and intelligence to keep them reacting a certain way. It keeps people safe. The less consensus you reach during an op like this, the safer people are. You don't want consensus during an operation. You give up all your leverage at that point. You have to keep people fighting and arguing and defending and looking all over, and it keeps, I believe it keeps the operatives involved in this situation safe. The only thing you can ask all of the people with their own opinion to do is to trust in the plan and have faith in God. That's really all you can ask the people to do, and to continue talking and dialoguing. Q drops went from 1 million people to 20 plus million in 90 days. My global overseas source has direct and immediate experience dealing with the brown shirts and George Soros over in Europe. Not hyperbole. There is a picture of a senator from Illinois in the early 2000s in the Ukraine on the front page of a Kiev newspaper touring a chemical weapons plant, if you are so inclined to look. That would be Barry. Barry has his mug probably, yes, I've seen that picture. Barry has his mug probably in 2004 on the cover of a newspaper in Kiev touring a chemical weapons plant in the Ukraine. It's out there. It exists. Dig it up. Why important? Why does it have to do to, what does it have to do? What does it have to do today? It ties directly into what you are seeing the media and even our own government putting the blame on Russia. Don't have the pic. I would have tweeted it. don't have the pic, I would have tweeted it. It's not the best writing here, so it's not easy to read. Don't have the pic, I would have tweeted it. This ties into everything. There is an operation in this planet right now to try and save it. It is deeper than money, deeper than power. It is real. Some Periscope followers already found it during the stream. Summary. This is why there are so many military men involved. This is the missing piece. 2 out of Dilley's 3 sources have confirmed there are no coincidences. They are setting the stage and controlling the environment for the next. Q says elections don't matter at this time. Dilley says he's starting to believe it. There is about to be a game-changing move. If you didn't believe that POTUS is in control or that there is a master plan being orchestrated in front of you, how in the absolute hell was there not a single leak regarding North Korea? Think about it. Nobody saw it coming. Not one leak leading up to North Korea, South Korea, and U.S. meeting. Not one. No sabotaging of it. No conversations about it. Just bam. That is total control. Look at your news. How bored are you day in and day out other than the fake news? You only get big news when the president says drop big news. Within government today, you don't have a bunch of leaks like you did last March, April. The only breadcrumbs and stories you get are the ones your president tees up for you. Someone in the Periscope pointed out that President Trump mentioned that talks were going well with North Korea, and the entire leftist-controlled media all dismissed him. He was ignored. He's leaving you the breadcrumbs right in plain sight. If you ever want to see what's coming in this country, read President Trump's Twitter timeline in reverse. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Part 3. I think that the Q community hopefully takes the piece that I've just shared and applies it to all the other drops that you have received, and maybe it'll give you more answers. I hope that helps, because this missing piece, at least for me, puts so many other things into context. And so, maybe if you apply this potential knowledge into what your own investigations have shown you, because I know you're putting some sort of a map together. Shout out to 8chan, shout out to 4chan for being willing to do what they do, because that's the real power of the people. It's collectively solving a problem in real time that way. It's brilliant. They didn't get enough credit when the election was over, but then, at the same time, it wasn't an accident that the military intelligence world went back to Chans as a source to drop their new information. It's kind of like a tip of the hat to you guys. A lot of people there get upset. Our work is being shared elsewhere. How dare you? I don't think you guys fully understand the fact that they're selecting you guys and gals as the first place of release for information. That's the tip of the hat. And that's it. So, let me know what you think of that. I really want you to kind of ruminate on that and maybe make some, comments down below, because I think it's something to talk about. I think it's important. And I do think that this Dilley person does have intelligence of some sort. Yeah, it's not Q. I get that. But it certainly goes along with everything Q has been saying. So I am working on something, too, to bring you guys in the near future that is a bit controversial. And I want to research it further before I bring it, because I want to be absolutely sure that I've got the information correct and that it is correct and that it's not some sort of weird out there conspiracy theory before I do that. But I'm hoping to bring you more. So anyway, that's it for tonight. I hope that you guys have a good night's rest and that you stay safe, and I will talk to you later.